We all have a point of view. And when you have a point of view, you have bias. I mean, it's just a natural part of life. It's a reality that when people carry a point of view, they are also going to be bringing with it a bias. Hey, when they present data, they'll have a point of view. They'll have bias. And when you present data, you should also have a point of view. And so you'll want to be aware of some of the techniques, some of the tricks that we can use to carry our point of view. Let me talk to you about what I mean. One of the ways, and this way isn't really a highly ethical one. You want to be aware of it. I don't want you to use it. I want you to be aware of it, though. Some people will carry their bias by reducing the randomness of the survey group. In other words, they pretend that they just randomly chose some people. But what they've really done is they've chosen people who will support their point of view. Be on the lookout for that. When you see a graph, when you see some data, ask, so who was surveyed? Is this random or was it a select group? If you reduce the randomness, if you eliminate randomness, suddenly bias shouts loud and clear. Be aware of that. But there are lots of data strategies that are very fair game. One of them is to change the shape of the graph. Take a look at this. Take a look at these two graphs. Here's one. It's showing the company's profit, all right, how it's going up. It's a very good story. But if I'm a CEO talking to my investors, talking to people who might want to buy into my company, I might want to change the scale, right? Change the scale so that now it looks like my company's profits are going through the roof. It's the exact same data. Do you see that? Look at this. It's around 135,000. It's around something like that, 130,000. Same data, but the shape of the graph has been changed, and that carries a point of view, a bias. Not only can you change the shape of the graph, you can also change the position of the graph. Take a look at this one. This is a graph talking about favorite shampoos. Frizz-free versus Shiny Locks. And even from this graph, you can see that Frizz-free is more popular, right? But an advertising agency, an advertiser, might want to change the position of this. And they do that. Be on the lookout for this. They're no longer starting at 0. They're starting at 400. But look at the drastic results. Now it looks like Frizz-free is way more popular than Shiny Locks. 3 times as popular. But in reality, it's not. It's not even close. It's a little more popular, but nothing like what this one does. Why? Because they've changed the position of the graph by not starting at 0. Be on the lookout for that. Take a look at this one here, because you can also combine these, change the shape and the position of a graph. Look at this graph here. New car sales, it's healthy, nothing too severe. It's a nice smooth, a little bit of a dip here, but they've recovered nicely. This next graph I'm going to show you changes the shape and the position. And look at the result. Wow, suddenly that dip looks way deeper. Why? Because they left out some numbers here, right? If this is 1 to 200, 0 should be way down here at the bottom, but they've left out some of this. And now all of a sudden it looks like the dip's way low. Imagine that you're the boss of this company, right? And you come in right here. You might want to show that, hey, your company was in real trouble when I got here. And they really emphasize the downward trajectory of this data. Now look at it. Whereas this one might want to be, if you were the boss of this company, maybe you were a boss all the way along. A nice, gentle, yes, a little bit of a dip here, but bias, point of view. It's a natural part of life. How we present our data really does have an impact on our point of view. It can influence the way people think about our data. We can change the shape, we can change the position. As readers and writers of data, be aware that bias exists all over the place. It's in us, it's around us. We want to be able to use it to our advantage, but also be very aware of others as they present data.